Hello, hello, hello. I am so sorry I'm late. Wait on some people to get in here. I'm going to share this video in my Facebook group. Welcome, 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 everybody. I apologize. I was supposed to be on here at 8 o'clock, and I'm a travel agent, so I had a client I had to take care of. So let me share this in my group. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna wait for a couple of people to come in and then we'll get started. I'm very excited about doing these dominoes. Hello, everyone. Hello. Go ahead and make sure you speak. Y'all know if you're in my Facebook group that I might go through them little comments and do a little giveaway because I like to do that. So I'm gonna share this in the group, y'all, and then we're gonna get started. How's everybody doing today? I did a previous video. I just posted a video earlier, and the video is the prep on the mold. So we're going to be doing the standard mold today. Hey, Melinda. We're going to be doing the standard mold today. So I did a video earlier on the prep for the video. However, I will go over that again. Excuse me. I am sorry. I am not prepared. However, I had a client, and y'all know, well, the people in my group know my computer kind of did me in yesterday. So my computer crashed. So I've been trying to fix my computer all day. That's why I didn't come yesterday. But let's get started. And as the people get in, if they have questions, we'll go ahead and do it. I know it's late at night. I know a lot of people have them kids at home and y'all doing that teaching thing. So let me turn the music down a little bit. So if you have any questions during the live stream, let me know. If you're looking at this later on and you have questions, make sure you'll go ahead and put the questions in there. I answer my questions, but the best way to get in touch with me is to join my Facebook group, Cricket Crafting ... the beginning and beyond, and post it on the timeline. So we have our standard mold, and we're going to be doing dominoes in our standard mold today. And I'm going to do a couple of, just a couple of kinds today. And of course, we'll demold them tomorrow. And tomorrow, when I demold them, I'll do another kind until y'all comfortable doing the dominoes. So I prepared my mold earlier on the earlier video, and I will explain to you what I did. So I took the baby powder, and the baby powder is because, not because, will help the epoxy smoothly go into the little compartments, and it helps eliminate those little air bubble holes on the face of your domino. We know on the back of your domino, we're going to use a spray bottle of alcohol, but of course, you're not going to be able to spray in there because the epoxy in there. So this helps eliminate some of them air bubbles. Actually, since I started doing it, I haven't seen any. So you just take a little bit of the powder and you put it in your mold. Again, mine was already powdered. And what I do is just use one of these cheap little $1 makeup brushes, and I make sure I get it in all the little corners. Make sure I get it in all the corners. And then I just make sure I dump it just like a cake pan, dump it over a trash can. So let me grab, got more domino molds, y'all. Let me move that one off my trash can. So you just take it and tap the back and get the excess out. So that's all you do. And now your mold is prepared and ready for epoxy. Now, those of you that have new molds, let me put my camera down. Okay, so so you'll see what I'm doing. So those of you who want to measure your dominoes, I also showed earlier today how you can tell how much epoxy fits in each compartment. Can y'all see that? Y'all see I got a set of dominoes there. Let me move this out the way. So y'all can see. Okay. So the way to measure that would be simply to put some water in one of the little compartments, and then you take the water out and you measure the water, and it should tell you how much you'll be using. I free pour mine, but I just to see how much it take, you just put the water in there till you fill it up and you want a little round thing. Then you take the water out, and I use the squeegee, not a squeegee. I used the syringe to take it out, so I just took it out and measured it. A syringe, a pipette. You can pick up the domino mold if you real steady and just pour it in there. And that'll tell you how much to use. So that'll tell you how much to use in each compartment. These are about 75 milliliters, but I want you to absolutely measure your own. If you're going to be using that method to pour, make sure you measure, because different molds are different sizes. And that's good to use for any mold that you have, any silicone mold. If you want to know, again, I just free pour mine. So we have that prepared, and the next thing we're going to do, and I should have did this prior, but I was running late. We're just going to mix the epoxy, and then we're going to pour in the mold. So this won't be an epoxy pouring class or mixing class. So you should know how to mix epoxy. The one thing I will caution you on with your epoxy, and Merlinda's on here, y'all do your own research on the effects of epoxy. I tell y'all this all the time. What doesn't bother me might bother you. What doesn't bother you might bother me. You know, so make sure you do your own research and figure out what you need to do to make yourself safe for you and your kids. Believe me, I did a lot of research prior to starting with epoxy. So I grabbed my gloves. Okay, so I grabbed my gloves. For epoxy, my research tells me that an N95 is perfect, but y'all, some people use the gas mask looking thing. Again, I want you to be comfortable, and I want you to do your own research, because I can't be responsible for y'all. And I want you to be safe in knowing what you're doing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to mix the epoxy. And of course, like I said, you figure out how much epoxy you need. For this one, it's 75 milliliters, but I always have me some extra molds laying around in case I over pour. Hey, Bling Creation. You know I don't know that name, so tell me who you are. I probably know who you are. Bling Creation. So I'm just going to do a little bit, but I want you all to know you can definitely do the whole mold. I'm definitely not going to waste all that epoxy by doing the whole mold. I'm going to do what I normally do. I use the dominoes I practice on and turn them into keychains. So I'm just going to do a tablespoon of each. And that's going to give me enough to do about 4 dominoes. And in case you're wondering what kind of epoxy I'm using Envirotech Light. If you are a member of my Facebook group, there's a link that's in there. I can't remember where I got it from, but Nisi, the other administrator, another administrator in the group, is the one who told me this because she is an epoxy in person. And it was a good... Oh, Belinda, what's going on, Belinda? It was a great buy. I got 2 sets. This is a set, a gallon set. I got 2 of these sets for about $120 from that website. I can't remember what it was. I think it was creative something. I have to find that link and I'll link it for y'all, okay? So what I do after I pour my dominoes, my epoxy, I make sure I got the same amount. So let me step back. Look good, and we're just gonna mix the epoxy, okay? So if you have any questions, Creative Wholesale, there you go, Creative Wholesale. Thank you. Creative Wholesale. Since I just started really doing epoxy, y'all, I'm in love with making epoxy everything. I've been making trays. I've been making dominoes. I don't know why I ain't been playing with epoxy. So you notice I don't have on my gloves because I'm kind of neat with the epoxy, putting it in there. But once I start stirring it, I put the gloves on because I'm known to knock stuff over. So you have to make sure you mix this thoroughly, get everything out of your little measuring cups. If you leave a little bit in one, you leave a little bit in the other one. And so I'm just going to go ahead and mix this. And I like to mix it with these little stirrers. I think they mix very well. And you want to mix for at least 3 minutes. Let me look at that time. Okay, so the baby powder. Thank you. Yeah, engage me in some questions while I'm mixing this epoxy. So let me bring it up. So the baby powder. The baby powder, again, is to help the dominoes go down. I know y'all see this on my head. This epoxy doesn't bother me. That's why I tell y'all, it bothers me when it start combining. So this epoxy, you'll notice when it gets warm. Epoxy gets warm. So it don't bother me, but when it start getting warm, then I throw this on because then I start smelling. Probably too late to do it, but again, do your own research. The powder helps the epoxy go smoothly down into every little corner, and it helps eliminate the air bubbles on the face of the dominoes. So you know the face of the dominoes is face down, so you're able to take the alcohol and use that for the dominoes on the back when the bubbles start rising. But of course, you can't spray up under there. So that's gonna help. That helps eliminate. And I tell you, I don't know the science behind it, but I will tell you that it works. Hey, Priscilla, I do not know the science behind it, but I tell you that it works. Okay, so since I've been doing that, I haven't seen any surface air bubbles. I haven't seen any surface air bubbles since I've been doing that. None on the side and none on the surface of these. These are dominoes that these did not get hard because I missed. Well, I did it on purpose because y'all know how I do. Well, the people in my group, y'all know how I do. I try stuff. So My dominoes been coming out pretty good and perfect, so I want to see what's going to happen if something come out wrong. Can I save it? So the first part of this thing was doing the pour, and it was like kind of not mixed well on the outside. So I did get a thin layer of epoxy on there, and that did good. So these are my practice mess up dominoes, if that makes sense. Hey, Priscilla. I don't know if that makes sense. Your practice mess up domino. So as you're doing this, let me put you back down. So today I think we're going to be doing, let's do some glitter and acrylic. So let's do some acrylic. I did chunky. Let's see what kind of glitter I got in here. Let's try this, okay? Again, I'll be doing dominoes. If I sound funny, y'all, I'm getting ready to put on my mask. I've been stirring this about maybe a good minute. So if I sound funny, I'm sorry, but I'm still looking at your comments, okay? If you have questions, and this is where I put the gloves on because this is where I get messy, you might be able to do all your dominoes without even having to touch the gloves because you might not be messy. However, baby, let me tell you, I'll drop some stuff. These brand new cabinets, I got epoxy everywhere. I'm forever knocking some shit over. Yes, I curse. I'm sorry for those of you who don't know. See, we about to get ready. So I just use my handy dandy, and these just some Dollar Tree cups. You can use these paper cups, or you can use the silicone measuring cups or what have you. I don't suggest pouring into these small molds with the plastic cups that you mix them in, whatever you mix yours in. And the reason I don't suggest that is because you want to be kind of precise when you're pouring in these little old bitty things. You don't want epoxy all over the place. So these bend. So it makes the spout, or you use the one with the spout. If you try to bend one of these, you break the cup. You know, so you don't want to break the cup. So I just suggest that you use one of the paper cups or either these epoxy cups. And I was just gonna say that if you want to buy or if you need to purchase some of this siliconeness, I sell all this stuff. I sell the molds. I sell the medicine measuring cups, silicone mixing cups, stirrers. The I don't sell syringes, but I do sell the pipettes. Let me show you a pipette. I had one earlier. I sell the pipettes, and a lot of people use this to precisely put their domino, put their epoxy in there, because you'll find that you can do the two-tone dominoes again. I free pour mine because I'm still in my fascinating stage that I just love. I promise y'all, I can epoxy something every day. I get like that. I get fascinated because I have to figure out the do's and the don'ts from doing it, researching on YouTube, researching in the Facebook groups. I have to find out the do's and the don'ts so I can come back and let y'all know. I just get fascinated. So I say that to say this. Y'all, I'm in about 5 million Facebook groups. I do know that some people who run Facebook groups don't like you to be in other groups. They want you to post. They want you to do all this and that. I invite you to my Facebook group, Cricket Crafting, ... the beginning and beyond. I love participation in the group. However, it's not mandatory. I'm not going to kick you out if you don't do something in the group. I would kick you out for doing something wrong, but I won't kick you out for not posting every Monday or all that. Because it's not your job. And I just want you to be like me. I want you to join all them groups. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong now. The best group on there is Cricket Craft and ... the beginning and beyond. However, that does not take away from me wanting you to get all the knowledge that you can by, you're going to hear in Cricket Craft and, the people in there. It's a lot of information out there. You can find other places. So let me tell you all what I do first. And I'm going to tell you the science behind this. I've been experimenting. So what I try to do when I'm going to use glitter, and I'm getting ready to mix, y'all, okay? So what I do when I'm going to use glitter, I go ahead and put just a little bit on the bottom of my mold section or whatever you call this little thing, my little compartment or whatever. And I let it sit about a minute. If it's heavy glitter, that glitter doesn't look very heavy, but I found this chunky stuff like this, it likes to set at the bottom. So sometimes you'll do your dominoes, and when you take them out, you can actually rub and it's not smooth. So I just put a little in there and let it sit a minute. And then I'll put the then I'll make, I said put the domino. Then I'll make me a little bit what else I'm going to pour in there, and I'll put the glitter directly in the cup. I told y'all I'm messy. You might be able to sprinkle it on there or put it in the paper and put it on. I'm too messy, y'all. I tried that. I had glitter everywhere. So I go ahead and I mix it with my epoxy. Let me see. Okay, thank you for putting the name of the group. So now what I do is just normal. I just pour the epoxy. Y'all need to invest in one of these silicone sheets, y'all. This saving my cabinet. I didn't have them at first. I got epoxy everywhere now. Just throw that stuff on there, just leave it there, and you come back the next day when it's get hard, you just peel it off. Then you just do your dominoes. So I'm going to make this a solid domino. Tomorrow, we'll get into the half pour where you do half and half. I want y'all to see that because when you do this, you want to get down low because you want it to be almost what you would consider over full because you want that little rounded on the back. And I'm taking my time because I want to do the, I want to have enough epoxy left so I can do the paint with you. And I tell, like I say, I'll get, and it looked like it's overflowing, but it's not exactly overflowing. And I'm going to try to get a close-up of that for you all right after I get it done, okay? Yeah, I got pretty good. When I first did this, I had epoxy all over the place. And another thing about these little cups, you can scrape that, you like squeeze the rest of it out. So that's that. I'm looking to make sure I'm not missing any comment. So I'm gonna do do the acrylic, what I would tell you is I let the dominoes sit maybe about 2 to 3 minutes. Well, no, maybe 5 to 7, because I'll go ahead and finish filling all of them. Then by that time, all the little bubbles will have been rose to the top, okay? And then we'll go to the second phase. So this is, we're gonna do acrylic paint. Now, when you're doing acrylic paint, I need you to be careful with that. If you put too much in there, it will definitely change the composition, or whatever the word is, of your epoxy. It'll change the curing time. So you don't want to put too much in there. You want to just use a little dot. And I can tell you how I find that out. So this is a set of dominoes that I did when I first started. If you look on there, how them craters, and that's them little holes is what that powder is gonna help prevent, okay? That's what the powder help prevent. See, I make all the mistakes for you. Okay, so you'll see this is acrylic paint. It didn't even mix in good with it because I put too much. It changed the curing and it didn't cure properly. So, Priscilla, you say, how much epoxy does it take to fill up a mold? As I told them at the beginning, I don't really measure. I free pour. I pour and I look. But if you look, I did an earlier video. My calculation for this particular mold was 75 milliliters in these little medicine cups per hole. So you do that time 28. It's 28 dominoes. So 75 milliliters times 28. It's 28 dominoes. I'm a certified boneologist. I pay dominoes every day, y'all. Damn near. I might miss a day here or there. Thank you. Give me some thumbs up. I love them thumbs up. I appreciate it. So when we're doing this acrylic paint, again, we don't want to use a lot. So I'm just going to put a dot because I ain't got but a little bit in there, okay? That's all I put in there, okay? I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. I just put a little dot in there, okay? And we're going to see what that's going to look like when I mix it yellow. That's a pretty yellow. So I will tell you another thing that I have learned in my research. If you're trying to make this and you want it, I got to figure out where the camera, there you go. You want it a little bit darker, you can put white in there. Don't ask me why it does that, but you can put a drop of white. Find my white. You can put a drop of white and it kind of takes away the translucentness. Don't know why it worked. I ain't researched that part, but I'm going to go ahead and put just a drop in there. And I absolutely know that from alcohol inks. I just don't know why it works. Because when you're making dominoes, you don't want nobody to see through the dominoes to see the dot. That kind of defeats the purpose. So it kind of make it a little like not, I didn't put a lot in there. So it kind of take away some of the translucentness. So again, hey, natural scent, what's going on? So again, I just pour it in there. We'll put these over here. And you're going to want to fill it till it look like it crowns. That's that word I'm looking for, crowns. So it look like it's about to flow over. almost, but it just don't do it. And what I'm gonna do for you all, I'm gonna overfill this one right here, because of course we got to learn how to trim them too. So I can't pour them all exactly. So we're gonna let this overflow just a little bit. Trying to, if I got enough epoxy. Yes, I squeeze my cups, y'all. Don't judge. It be epoxy in there. When I'm at the end, yes, I squeeze my cups. Don't judge. So, let me put this up. I'm gonna go ahead and close this before I knock it over. That's my first time using it. So, my epoxy has set right here about 5 minutes, and it's tiny bubbles. I was looking to see on this live, is there somewhere to zoom in? I guess not. Okay, so it's tiny bubbles on the top. Let me see. You know, you got to have like 10 million followers in order to have a live that you can do on your cell phone. So I have to do this from a desktop or laptop or something like that on live. So that's on my laptop, and unfortunately I don't think I can, but let me see if I can take a good picture and show you. Okay, good picture. Okay. Did I move before it got gone? Okay, so wait. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see how it's looking. Hold on. If you'll see that, let me know if you can tell. That's the bubbles that have rose to the top. That's the bubble. Hey, Wakita. Good night, Miss Priscilla. That's the bubbles that have rose to the top. So what I do, after letting it sit, you know they rise. This one's still rising. But what I do, I don't put no heat torch on my silicone, okay? Even though it's heat resistant, I'm still not gonna put no heat on there. So I don't use no blowtorch. And I just spray a little alcohol. Let me take you another picture. Now I want you to see. Please do check out my Facebook group. If you can tell, let me get the camera at the right angle. All of the bubbles are now gone, y'all. So that's what the alcohol, I'm trying to see if you can see it. I know you saw them bubbles real well on the earlier. There you go. You see that? It's clear. You can see straight through them dominoes. So that is what the alcohol is for. So you will do that. Once you finish, you get you a paper towel. You can get you a paper towel and just dot off the excess alcohol. And of course, you won't have as much as I have now because your whole mold will be full. So I just usually just that if I spray too much, if I see alcohol sitting there, because you don't want your mold to dry out. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. That's good. This yellow one has set long enough. That's set long enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and spray that. Okay. Watch them bubbles just disappear. So again, I gotta empty. I got an empty mold, so I sprayed quite a bit of alcohol, hit more than the epoxy. So, okay, so that's part one, and we just did the dominoes with the acrylic paint and glitter. Now you can do just regular dominoes. Tomorrow, I'll be doing this probably about another week or so, because I was hoping the big mold, because I do have, this is professional size. I have these molds coming. I was hoping they was going to be here tomorrow, but so far I haven't gotten a shipping confirmation, but they have been shipped. But we're going to do some different ones on this. And even though this is a standard, let me show you the size of the standard. Oh. Y'all, I got so much stuff. And I dropped this domino and it didn't break. So they work. So this is a standard size. Let me show you a full one. Still a pretty good size. That is this mold here. These are some dominoes I made. And like I said, when I have extra epoxy, if I mix too much, I always have another mold sitting around. I do a lot of these drawer type molds and stuff because I don't want to waste my epoxy. However, if I only have a tiny amount, I always have an extra domino mold laying around, and I'll just pour it. And you can use these for keychains. So when you buy a set of dominoes from me, I give you a keychain because I always got this extra. Okay, so this is what these are. They, none of them match, but I give them out as keychains. This is from this mold, this exact mold. I made these in this mold. And I actually was doing something with somebody. I think I was teaching somebody how to do them. These are some awesome dominoes. And if you just have a little bit, you don't have to fill it up. If you're going to make it into a keychain, so this one, I just had a tiny bit left. It's not as thick as this one, but I still made it. I didn't pour my epoxy away. It's a little bit thinner, but it still can be a keychain. See, it's thinner than a regular one. So that is what I do with the extra epoxy. Either just make sure you invest in some small molds because it's gonna come a time you overmix. You're gonna, especially when you first start, you're gonna err on the side of precaution. You'd rather have too much than not enough. But just get a separate mold and just put, that's all I do. All of them will turn into keychains. All of them will turn into keychains. You see how confident I am in my skills. I'm gonna sell this mini dominoes set. They only get one keychain a piece. So, and especially if you're making them was just some I was practicing on, but you're making a customized set and they're gonna be customized. Go ahead and if you overpour, get them a customized keychain. I promise you they will. Okay, Sonia. Hey, Sonia. Welcome, darling. They will definitely appreciate that. who don't like customized stuff? You know they do. They're buying customized dominoes. Why not have? I could drop everything. I told y'all I was clumsy. Got dominoes all on the floor and everything. They would love that. So, are there any questions? Tomorrow, we will demo these. Tomorrow, we will work with mica powder, and we'll do the half and half domino, okay? Where you just pour the bottom half, let it sit, and then the professional size will be here next week. I don't have any more. I only ordered a little bit, so I had to make sure that I test everything before I sell it, y'all. That's why it's stuff all over the place. I test everything before I sell it, but I do have them, and I try not to do a buy-in. Y'all got my mask on upside down. I try not to do the buy-in. I'd rather have the stuff you pay for it and I ship it to you within 72 hours. I have did buy-ins, but I just rather not do it. It's better for you to get your stuff soon as you get it. Soon as you pay for it, you want your stuff. I did buy-ins and get my stuff, and I don't even remember ordering it. So, although I do buy-ins, every blue moon, I'd rather just, I know who you are, Cynthia. I'd rather just wait till the stuff get here and just sell it. So it will be, the jumbo modes will be in here within the next couple of days. So, any questions? These dang on dreads. Any questions, y'all? I gotta get on the other side of the room. Tomorrow, mica powder and half. We'll demo these. I hope I mixed it right. If not, if it's messed up, then I'll show you how to correct it. How about that? So, you all have, you coming back well, Cynthia? Oh, yeah, you ain't been in the group in a minute. But we understand, darling. We understand. We do miss you, but we understand. We had a great sip and craft this past Saturday. For you, those of you not in the group, we do an event every other Saturday night. It's called Sip and Craft, where we craft and we fellowship, we answer questions, and we actually just laugh and have a good time, a little getaway from the stresses of life. But I thank you all. It's been about an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and close out. I will see you all tomorrow about 8 o'clock, about this same time. We will demo these. Yes, baby, we had a great time. I'm glad you're getting better, Cynthia. We do miss you, darling. But I want you to convalescent and I want you to recuperate. Then when you're ready, then you come on back. We ain't going nowhere. Y'all, sipping crap is the thing. Fantasy is something else I need to put out. Oh, boot camp. Boot camp will start Monday, y'all. First assignment for boot camp goes out tomorrow because you have the assignment prior to getting in that Facebook group on Monday. Okay, boot camp. Y'all get ready for that. Boot camp, business basis boot camp with STEF. We don't leave anyone behind in that group, y'all. You know, if they ain't left my crazy butt behind, they ain't gonna leave nobody behind. So, if you in boot camp, you ready? Boot camp, I'm so ready, y'all. Look at that, all the people ready. I will see y'all tomorrow to finish these dominoes and start on another set. Those of you who signed up for boot camp, you got the free ones. So, you are my guinea pigs, but we're gonna have a good time for these 2 weeks. Well, y'all have a good night. I'll talk to y'all later. See y'all later. I look sleepy and I slept for 12 hours. Again, if you have not already, please subscribe to my new YouTube channel, like and share a video. If you have not joined my Facebook group, Cricket Crafting ... the beginning and beyond, look us up and join us. Night, y'all. Love you, girls.